This is the main northern freight route from eastern capitals to the northern mining centres and to the distant capital of the Northern Territory. We all get used to roads being closed in the wet season, even though the federal government's aim was to have a national highway that was of a standard that closures due to flooding did not exceed 24 hours. And that was the dream of Federal Transport Minister Peter Morris a quarter of a century ago. Yet today, in 2012, the main freight route from Sydney and Brisbane to Darwin was cut for 36 hours in the dry season. What's going on? Owen Orange drives for Hillman's Transport. He was declared the nation's safest truck driver back in 2008. Owen sent me a text from Blackall when the Darwin trucks were pulled up with a road closure in June. Why? Because of a low-level detour built to divert traffic while the bridge over the Barcoo River is being fixed. Trouble is, the bridge isn't being fixed. It seems this main national freight route has no urgency in either the Queensland or the federal government's agendas. I took myself to the Barcoo River, 40 kilometres south of the Queensland town of Blackall. And for over a year now we've had a detour. And this is the detour down through across the Barcoo that has held up transport for a day and a half. All the main transport between Brisbane, Sydney and the remote capital of Darwin. A quiet outback road? Not likely. In less than 20 minutes, this was the traffic rolling through this shabby little detour that a dog taking a leak upstream can put underwater. I caught up with Owen Orange at daylight as he brought a Hillman's quad through the detour. Owen has been driving for the Toowoomba-based Hillman's for 11 years. The Barcoo closure in June caught him and other drivers unawares.
I didn't get any indication, everything was right. I changed over driver, didn't say that anything was going on down the track. And until I got to Ilfracombe and a Shores came through, and a lady driving the Shores, she said, "Have you heard about the Barcoo?" And I said, "No, I haven't." And she said, "Well, it's closed." She said, "I was the last one through at 400 and the water was flowing fairly quick." And she said, "I'm sure they're going to close it." And I said, "Oh."
The Barcoo River is one of Australia's main inland rivers. It joins the Cooper system and ends up in Lake Eyre. It may well be dry most of the year, but it is not a river to be taken lightly. The bridge has been damaged with a major shift in piles and deck beams. But why is it taking so long to repair?
I went across it myself personally over 12 months ago, and it was out, and I thought they were well into the repair. To be quite honest, I thought it was done. And so we're talking 12 months down the track and it's still not done. And we had trucks actually sitting at Tambo for 36 hours. And that's not acceptable. Not acceptable at all. It's a major highway. We need people to attend to that sort of thing promptly.
Lloyd Hillman is the founder of Hillman's Transport and still lends a guiding hand. Day-to-day operations are run by his sons, Chris and Steve. these closures are not just holding up trucks and drivers.
And we don't just carry general freight. You're aware we carry mail, we carry fruit and veggies, we carry frozen products, and we're trying to service the west and the northwest, right up to Darwin. We don't have many alternatives because it's the only major road from Brisbane to, or Sydney basically, from Sydney to Darwin on the east coast. We can't take triple road trains up through Townsville, or up the coastway anyway, and so we're limited to that road. And not just that, from the driver point of it away from home, and all the issues that go with that. You know, we have rostering, and we try and adhere to that rostering.
Hillman's Transport, like many regular road transport services to the mining provinces of northern Queensland and to the Northern Territory, are finely tuned operations. Owen Orange drives on the Darwin staged run or shuttle. As a Toowoomba-based driver, he takes the outfit from Toowoomba to the Outback Queensland town of Longreach. There's a driver change in Longreach, and a Longreach-based driver takes over, driving the truck through to Barcoo Homestead in the Northern Territory. From Barcoo Homestead, a Darwin-based driver, with his sleep break completed, takes the road train through to Darwin. 3 stages, carefully designed, so the freight goes straight through to the destination while drivers keep legal driving times. The logistic complexity of this rostering arrangement takes weeks to recover after a hold-up like at the Barcoo in June.
My son Stephen, who does the operation side of it, it's a nightmare because you've got certain drivers programmed to go out in certain times with their times, so they've got to make sure we do it legal, and so to make sure their times are right. It just changes the whole dynamics of the whole operation, and it can be pretty stressful sometimes for them.
And that is not the only problem. There was a time when the local police officer or the Shire Council made decisions on when a road should be closed and opened again, a system that worked fine for 80 years. But today, the decision does the rounds of various government agencies.
I think better cooperation between the government departments, I think, is the major thing. There doesn't seem to be much. They don't talk to each other apparently, from what we hear. You know, when we try and make some inquiries on a road closure, this one will refer to that one, and this one will refer to that one. I know this one wouldn't know what he's talking about, so it's a bit of a catch-22, and we get caught up in it, and it can affect us by 24 hours, or 12 to 24 hours sometimes, and we find that, oh, well, the road is open, really, but no one bothered to have a look or whatever.
It's a matter of these government agencies protecting their own backsides. Whatever the outcome, an answer needs to be found. National highways need to be fixed in an efficient and timely manner, and closure and road open decisions need to be made quickly. Just because there are few voters in these remote regions, it is no excuse for politicians to ignore these major freight arteries. In fact, it's a matter of national security.